So Jim, we just want to get a sense of your impression of your time here today, what you think is the value in it.
Really useful. Being with kindred spirits is a big help, and essentially beginning to feed the confidence that we can all imbue in each other, that the time for mind mapping has come. Albeit I do think we might have to rename it collaborative working, and seeing mind mapping as just one of the many tools in collaborative working. It may end up being the lead tool because it is front of house. It garners the attention of people very readily. It gives people the confidence they've been heard. It tends to give bigger and better pictures than any one of us could put down, given a blank canvas, etc. You know, so I think this is very timely, and I hope we broadcast the message when we all go back, and you guys continue to broadcast the message, because it can be the stuff of resilience for many different businesses and public sector entities.
So do you see this Biggerplate online library and the collaborative community as really endorsing that
absolutely
push, that direction?
And really, really useful. There's a friend of mine who says, in terms of making things happen, we should be looking more for customer pull than push. So I don't think we should not prostitute ourselves by pushing too hard. I think his advice is really quite eloquent. He says, identify what's working, and there's great examples here today. Broadcast what's working, but without the mandatory push. You create a climate where people say, that's a really good idea that's happening with that particular police force. I think we could do that and better, because we'd take that idea that Nick's always had, that Nick always wanted to see implemented, apply that idea, and we'd be in a different plane. So I think mind mapping also then has a role in accelerating the evolutionary process.
And for you, having given your valuable time today, what's been the most valuable thing for you personally?
Meeting other people and getting other insights about what works and what doesn't work, and just expanding the network, because in essence, you know, there's a huge customer base out there at the UK level alone. And for all of us to get our arms around it is going to be one enormous task. So we have got a lot of missionary work to do, and the more we've got a contagious proposition that garners the attention of others and sees others take it on, the better. The key message, of course, is getting people educated in this early and taking that right through the educational process, so we see more of our universities using this. And universities using it as a mechanism for resilience, in as much as you might lose the key lecturer or the key professor, but if they're leaving an archive in mind map format, we're not going to miss them that much.
Hopefully they'll put a copy online on their Biggerplate too.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so
that would be a great way to do it, to create academic resilience. So we don't see universities getting up to the Premier League and then dropping back to the third division when they lose some key players. We've got some continuity in the process.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Real pleasure.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Not at all.